Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This is 8 a.m. So we have to start preparing ourselves for next week. We already got what we wanted last week, so we move on to something new and better. Okay? So let's start with this pending pairs so you can see if you can add any. Mm, ADJPY right now, you can see the perfect entry I need is for price to come back at this level. So this one stays down. Euro USD. Perfect entry I need is daily to close below this level. And you can see where we are now. And there is a high chance that next week we can have price uh doing this, then coming back at this level. One more time. But the weekly closed very bearish. But you can see it's right above this level. And what price was doing was whenever we are above this level, we would buy, would buy, would buy, and price reacted and failed to break. And my sell is after price breaks below this level. So this also stays down here. Because I'm still waiting for the daily to shift and the weekly to break below this level, that level. Uh, Euro CHF. Uh, you can see price has reacted from our daily level, our weekly level, and price has to sell all the way to this zone here. You see, and where price is, you can see we don't have any structure point, any anything since 20. Apart from this 2015 push, we have nothing since 2011, and the weekly is kind of tricky, but the daily you can see that price is right below this level, and price has broken below this daily structure point. You can see price was reacting, was selling, and was selling once we're below. So since price has broken below, price can easily retest this then continue selling. Yeah. Mm. If you look at the forward time frame, the same thing. It's just a matter of waiting for price to go back at this level here and give you an entry that you would like right around this one here, right around this level here, because this is where we got our shift from here. Okay. Um. So let's try to just put this up for now. And GBP AUD, I'm looking for buys, but I need my daily to make a new lower low and then shift, uh, which is which which we can clearly tell that this might happen next week. No, the other week, because you can see the daily needs to push below here, and can see how the weekly is looking. But the weekly is having a nice rejection at this weekly level here, where we expected price to break. So, meaning next week, I expect the weekly candle to give me some sort of weak rejection, even breaking below here. Then the daily to maybe to shift bullish. Then we can catch that nice buy. But I need it first to break below this level here. No, from this level, I need to do the. I need price to do this for me. Then need price to do this for me. Then price to come back at this level. You see, and then price to give me that break above. Then we can switch to a 4-hour time frame and take it from there. The 4-hour time frame also it's kind of it's bearish. It's really bearish, we can see. So I also needed to break below this level so that once price starts pushing up, we'll be bullish. We'll be very much bullish if we break below this zone. You see? Because that's the only thing that makes sense. Or else me buying should be right after price breaks above this daily level. And if you can clearly see in the daily time frame, this can continue selling because you can see we have this kind of structure. You see price broke below this structure point and retested this level and it's shown us it's holding. You can see. So we expect that drop. So this is also we're skipping to next week. Mm, this is GBP. This is GBP AUD. Price is very much bullish. And if you look at the weekly time frame, we close with an engulfing. And my area of selling is right around this level here. I want to sell at this point here. Not this zone here. Mhm. This is where I want to sell from. That's my OG level. Mm. So if I was to flip this, you can even see that if I kind of uh do this one, if I kind of do this one, you can clearly tell that price has rejected from our OG level, but we need price to come back at this level and close with a strong signal of buying power. Yeah. Or even if it has rejected, which is you can see that the daily time frame is very much bearish. It's very much bullish now. So the only way we can buy is after the daily goes, uh, the daily goes bearish because we're bullish. See, so meaning, um, right around this level, I already want to see a shift. See, so I'm now expecting price to make a new higher high by breaking above this OG level here. This current higher high, which is at this point here. You can see I wanted to break above this higher high. So this can be my new higher low. You see, so that if I have this as my new higher low, I just have to wait for price to break below and sell and then sell. But if you look at this, quite right, I'm selling where I was planning to sell that other time. But if you look at this, this requires some patience. And one of the fact again is this is where I want to buy from here. You see? So I really want this daily. Uh, yes, quite alright. It rejected the level at this point and made a nice sale, but I needed to come back at this level so I can be selling at my OG level right there. You see? So, because this one can be fine, but you see where I'm selling from. It's just in the middle of nowhere here. It's the middle of nowhere. And so that just throws me off. And the weekly close bullish to add on. So uh, I rem I wish if this could have just maybe made the new high. But we'll skip this just for next week. You'll see, we'll skip it so that price can do this. So that price can add on to this higher high and give us an extra push right around this level, and we can get our shift so that we can sell when price is at this point here. You see? So that's the goal. That's the main goal is selling at that price there. You see? So we'll skip this for next week again. Then Euro GBP, I am also expecting the daily price to go bearish on the this pair, but I just don't expect it to break right below like this because uh if which trade will be more clean if this is our lower higher low and this is our I want you guys to look at this. This is our higher low and uh this is our higher high and price just shifts like that and you sell at this point. Are you seeing the gap that's left here when let's move this? Then when let me do this thing can see it clear if I was to do let's say it's in this kind of structure here. Mm, when price closes with this type of red candle, let me do this. I want you guys to see something. If price was to close around this level, okay, that's what we're saying. This is what if price ends up doing this on Monday. Uh, then look, you get that engulfing here, okay? This here becomes an OG level, yes, because we've broken below all this. You can see this all this resistance, all this resistance when we were selling, and it also tend to support because side buying at this same point. So now since we've broken, we wait for a retest at this level to sell low, right? But when we're at this level, we should be okay with price doing what? Like I tell you, if we make a new lower low at this point here in the daily time frame, and this becomes our lower high, okay? This becomes our lower high. Let me just remove that. So we should be what? We should be fine with price. Uh, we should be fine with price doing this to us, selling from this level or selling from that level. Why? Because look at this kind of drop we're having. You see, uh, how can I explain this? It doesn't have any intermediate lower high that we can use except this one here. So it can retest all the way back to this level or that level or that level, even though it's broken below this resistance. Don't be fooled by this break. And yes, Quarteret can also sell from here and even drop, but this would be a temporal sell because look at this gap. Are you seeing this gap? It has to be filled. Okay. Same with this type of breaks. You can see we are this type. I think we have this kind of example. Look at this. This is what's happening here is what also happened here. So let me just show you. This is this big this becomes our lower low and this becomes our lower high. And look at this. Price just dropped exactly down. Just immediately just went down for maybe 1 or 2 weeks more. You see, we get this push. Even here in the same sort, we can also maybe expect the same push, you see. I want you guys to pay extra attention to this move here. Okay. So even here we get the same push. You see, we get the same push. Uh for this one we break this level, but the break started from this shift here, you see? This higher low. This is where we started. This is where the break started from. For this one, the higher low we have is around this level here. You see? Yeah. So that's the tricky part. It's around this level. Um And price, let's say Monday price push closes with this strong bearish close. So what does this it say to us is, okay, we have our shift, and since we have our shift, what we need is now price to kind of give us a retest. Okay, so we have our push right here, and we also have our push right around this level. So first, try to focus only on this structure. Okay, first let me think. Let me use this. What are we looking at? Okay, yeah, this is much better. Uh, okay, this will be much better. So it's the same thing, but I'm just using the web uh application. So I can access features like this. I want to replay this. Start new. So let's say we close at this level, you see? Okay, so price has closed around this level. And it's the same structure, by the way. You can see we are having this major we're having this major drop. Um, we are having this major drop from price was making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and lower low. So we have this major drop, starting from this level here. And you can see, since it did that break, the thing I tell you is when you get that small break price, that aggressive break price will give you that first retest, which is a pullback, then price sells. You see that rejection, and price gives you that sale. Okay. And you see how price has keeps on selling. And the same case breaks below this zone. And so in the same way, we just wait for a pullback to continue selling. Price breaks below this zone again. The same way, wait for price pullback to continue selling. And again, price breaks below this zone here. So the same thing, you know. So that's why you're seeing this major drop. Price is not closing, like example at this point here. When price sold off and retested and gave us this pullback, price wasn't supposed to break right below this zone. So if price didn't break below this zone, we would have expected an in what initial retest around this level here, then price sells. But price didn't break below, but price managed to break below by closing around this level. You see, just that small difference there makes this a new lower low. And again, the first retest is a pullback. So the pullback continues. And what price does again is price ends up breaking below this higher low, which was once used as a higher low. Because this is our target when we sell from this level. This right here is our target. And price ends up breaking below. So the same thing happens. We don't wait for the retest, wait for this pullback and price sells. So now we're at this point here. So since we're at this level, um, we've also broken below this zone, and and you see what will happen from here. Mm. mm, you see what will happen. Okay, price come back to this OG level here. It gives us that initial retest. You see why did it now reject from this initial retest? Because this was the lowest point from this push. You see, this was the lowest point. So from this point, push price has to retest back to its nearest OG level. And you can see price just didn't do this. You see, price just didn't do that and then sell. Price first retested to this point and even engulfed. And you see what it will continue doing though. kind of sells. You see? Then again, breaks above, sells at the OG level, which is at this point, comes back to this point, breaks, comes back. And okay, whatever is happening here is of no use. So you see now what price ended up doing. Price ended up breaking below, but it had to retest this level. You see why? Because there was this immediate OG level right here. There was also this one here. You can also see price is rejected from this one around this level. You see price rejected, and so also this can be a selling trade. You get your take profit right there. So you didn't see price just continue dropping because why? One, the we reached at our lowest low, and the intermediate OG levels we had were this one, this first one, then we have the second one, then we have the third one, then we have the fourth one. So we expect price to retest back at these zones. You see? And second is because of this kind of drop, you can see this drop here from this level to this lower low. Price had no any sort of structure. We just had one major drop like this. You see? And that's also a red flag from that's a red flag. And now we found ourselves in a situation where price is at this same level and we've missed out all this push. So we can't really just sell at this level. You see? Uh, so now let's play out the unless if this OG level here it had before reaching this lowest low and taking out lower low, taking out this level. At least if we had something like this, if we had if we had maybe any rejection around this level and a lower low, then we can expect price to come back at this point and sell more. You see? But because we didn't have, that's why price started trailing back with around these levels. You see? And now we are expecting price to break below here, right? We're expecting price to break below this level, which is on Monday, by making this is our new lower low around here and our new lower high. See, so the same thing is if this happens and I don't get any trailing um structure that I can use as my lower high, except from this one, like this scenario I've given you, where I expect price to give me something like this, so before it breaks below, so that I can change my lower low to this level. That's much better. But if I don't get that and price is at this level, meaning I expect price to still retest back at these points. You see, and it can sell either from that level, it can sell from either from that level, and it can also sell from that level. You see, that's the whole analysis. If once price just gives us a break without any lower low, any lower high that we can use, then this is what will play out. This is what will happen. Price will come back at this OG level. No, I think this is not even an OG level. Yeah, this is not. This is a daily OG level, but uh I want the weekly, yeah, because the one holds much weight, you see. So price can come back at this level and at that level, and I should be okay with price doing this. So that's why you saw me now saying before price gives us this initial break here, I expect price to at least what am I doing now? Before price gives us this initial break, I expect price to give us at least a nice retest at this level here. You see, this OG level, so that when it breaks below this higher low, I can then use this analysis to sell And this OG level can now be obvious. You see, this one that's around here. I can now use this OG level. You see, then you can maybe expect a retest of that sort. So that's how. It's not that I've abandoned the OG level. No, I just wanted to give me something like this first before we get the initial break. Because if we don't get that kind of break, it's hard to sell. It's very hard to sell. And let's switch to the 4 hour time frame. And the good part of the 4 hour time frame, you see, it's trailing. It's also trailing. Mm, You're having lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So it's only right if before we get this break, which is around this level, the 4 hour can do this, and then sell. Doing what I'm explaining in the daily time frame. So that's what we expect. So we'll skip this as well for this coming week, just so we can see how price retests and break below this zone. And your AUD NZD, price is bullish on the weekly, price is bullish on the daily, and price is around this level here. This price is around this level here. You can either use this or you can use that point there. Uh, I've put in the 4 hour time frame. We are bearish. You see, we are bearish and will only be bullish once price breaks above this zone here. So once price breaks above this zone here, yeah, once we get that break above that level and a retest, we'll then be able to buy. As on the 4 hour time frame and the daily time frame as well, you can see price check to hit this side. So uh this is too big. I want to reduce the size of this OG level. I'm going to get this. Okay. Thank you. Let's, let's try to reduce this. So you can see that this OG level is coming from this 2010 and um this is a 2010 OG level. Okay, so let's now try to do something interesting. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. If you look at this trade right here, tell me if this looks clean. Please just tell me if this looks clean in your eyes, you know, regardless of how this is our OG level here. Ah, mm. Yeah, that's how it should be. This is how it should be. First of all, if you can look at this trade very much, this OG level has to be redefined because look at this. Uh, Lower low, higher low, higher high, higher low, structure point, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. You see? So for me to get my daily push is I expect price to break this, higher, lower high, and now we get the higher high. Okay? So since we get the higher high, I need price to retest back at this level, not below the OG level. Okay, because my I need to press to retest and buy because my higher low is around this level, and you can see this is very near. And this is for my day. This is my daily higher low, and this is my weekly higher low. This line you're seeing here, this is the weekly higher low. Because if I do this, you can see that this is once price breaks below this level here, we are bearish on the weekly time frame. You see, once we break below that, so the daily is trading below this OG level. You can see. And this is a nice level because you can see we're having one, two, three rejections, and this rejection. So the only way we can, well, that's one thing. Second thing is what at the all-time high, price has never been at this level since 2010. Excuse since 2010, since 2013, and this is 2026, and this is how we are looking. And you can see the type of close candle we had. Okay. So it's just simple. Just like that, you've evaluated the trade. The daily looks clean, but the daily can only be clean once price uh can only be ready to buy once price breaks above this level. You see? And the reason why I'm saying this is because we are trading below this OG level one, and we're at the all-time high. And even though the daily engulfed the 4 hour time frame needs this break, you see? And so once we get that 4 hour time frame break, the daily will have that close, you see? And once the 4 hour gets the break, 4 hour needs that retest, and you can catch your buy. So what would be fun is before we get this retest, we get some sort of pull back in the forward time frame, then we get that buy, that push. So at once we get the retest, our stop loss is minimized. You see, we can just put our stop right below this higher low, rather than when we get the retest at this level, we can expect anything of price even retesting all the way back to our weekly OG level, because this is our higher low. You see, so even if we're choosing to put at our engulfing candlestick closure, price is a higher risk of retesting all the way back to this zone here. Mm, so that's why it would be nice if we would get price first doing something like this before we get the initial break, which we are looking for, which is this one, rather than price just moving directly from this level and breaking above and giving us the retest and giving us an entry right there. Because if we get an entry at this level here without any higher low being formed, which is closer to our entry level, uh, whereby price does something like this, our stop loss, even though our stop loss is right below this weak engulfing, price has a higher chance of dropping to this level and selling. You see? And we want to minimize the distance between the higher low and the entry level. You can see this is almost 50 pips. But if we can get this push here and get this kind of rejection on the 4 hour time frame, and and a retest and an engulfing right there, you can see that you can either choose to put your stop at your engulfing, or you can even, if you want, you can put at your higher low. You won't feel left out in any way, and you can play it safe if you want. And you know that it's just, you can see you're now risking only 20, almost 20 pips, or compared to 50 pips. And you know that even though I put my stop here, I can see that it's almost our same risk, our same return. You see, just over a few pips, then you have your 1 to 3. You see? So you would prefer this trade rather than catching your buy at this level and putting your stop all the way below this higher low. You see? And even if I put my stop all the way at this uh engulfing entry, which is at this point here, I know that price is only a few pips to taking us out, and trust me, you'll see it when it happens, but we would prefer to have this kind of retest before we get the final break of our 4 hour OG level, which is, let me just try to adjust this to this point here, you know. So would prefer if we get something like this, before we get the initial break and retest, rather than just going direct with this. And uh maybe among these pending pairs, uh CHF, we're waiting for it. We'll see if we either add these two. Because also CHF, it's also a good trade, and price is willing to sell up to this one here, because this is where it's heading. Um, but I would prefer USD JPY. Yeah, USD CHF. Oh, yeah, so uh, in the next hour when we meet, we'll see. But these five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they are gone. We are not trading these. I would really like to trade US NZD, AUD NZD, but the only bad part is it's at its all-time high. Huh? It's at its all-time high. And even though the weekly is having that nice break, nice rejection, um, um, whereby we just wait, we just need the daily push. And the good part of AUD NZD is the trades are very fast. They move fast. See, this kind of trades. These are the trades this pair usually has. They are fast to take profit. Because why? Most of the time people don't trade these pairs. Look at this trade also. They are very fast to take profit. They just move fast. Because people try to avoid them because they think there is no volume. Everyone wants the USD pairs because they'll get straight to their take profit fast, and they know once the New York opens, there's a guaranteed push, and but that's not the case. These pairs move fast. They move once the pair that once you just know the good part is once you just know its direction and you set yourself before the move happens. It's like you get a jackpot. Price will just go fast. You take profit. Uh, you can see how this price moves. They also move. The only bad part is right now it's been trading at its all-time high. It's been trading at its all-time high, and that just throws me off. And I wish I would take this buy. I wish I would take this buy. It's very clean. And it's okay. But this will be one of the last pair we'll look at and see if either we'll add it or not. But it's not my option at all. Among these pending pairs, it's the only one that I can put around that level. That's why it's on top compared to a Euro CHF would have been on top as well, but um, because one, it has this clear exit level, which is fine. And if you try to maybe shift this, you can see it needs to buy, but it just needs a couple of retests here. So let me tell you what this pair should do for me. If it wants us to buy, He wants us to buy it next week. We'll give it conditions since it's a pending pair. So we need price on a Monday to give us a push, on a Tuesday to give us another push, Wednesday to give us a nice push, on a Friday, on a Thursday to give us another kind of rejection push. You see? And in fact, on a Monday tomorrow, maybe even another lower low. On a Tuesday, we get that push. On a Wednesday, we get that push. On a Thursday, we also get that push. On a Friday, we get that bearish push. Then I'll take this sell freely. If it won't save me like that, then it can save someone else who had another analysis. Then we'll see it. We'll see it later. Because the good part is these pairs go nowhere, So can either trade it this week, next month, after 4 months, you will guaranteed get a nice setup. Don't have to rush it. Don't have to force yourself to join a trend if it doesn't look right to your values and your gut list. So for me, I've told you if this price wants us to sell, I needed to do this, and there's a high chance Monday can be a bearish close because of this bearish push we're having on Thursday. So you should really take your time, just try to let it sink in a bit, and this can really happen. And Friday it comes here, then Friday, then next week, which is the first week of June, price sales. So don't really rush it, my friend. Just relax and let the market do its thing. So meaning from the pending pairs, I can only add this one, but let's look at this. Right? Okay, okay, okay. No, no, no. In fact, you know what? I don't need this as well. I'll just stick to the ones that we put here because I don't like how the weekly is looking, one. And two, we're at the all-time high. So if this pair wants me to buy, I need some form of structure. And if you know, if you've been trading for some years, I'm sure you know this kind of pattern I'm about to pull out. If you know it, if you've been trading for years, when you've studied your patterns, you know this kind of pattern about to pull up. You see, when you see me draw my entries, I do this. This is my high low, this is my retest, and this is my buy, okay? Uh, Look at this kind of break and retest we're having here. This is our high. This is price is doing this. It's all compressed, then price is at this level. So which one would you rather buy? A price that gives you this kind of retest or something that's clean like this and clear? You'd obviously choose this one. And you can see it's very nice. It's a very nice trade, and it can even buy next week, you would see. But I don't like this kind of retest we're having and the way the candlesticks are moving, and especially this kind of pattern. Wait, uh, it's not clear on the it's not clear on the daily time frame, but on the weekly time frame. What do we call that? Candlestick, stick. Okay. This is the one that this one that opens upwards. Uh, Where is it? Mm. Is it a wedgie? Mm. Just can't get the name. I really can't get the name. Yeah, I really can't get the name, but I really can't. It's not the symmetric. It's another. Mm. Let's see. Mm. Bullish candle stick pattern. Mm. No, I think not pattern. Let's put chips. Can't really find it. But trust me, this, in fact, no, it should be this way. Should be some sort of a flag, yeah. Should be this way. Yeah. Bullish flag. Mm-hmm. Mm. Should be this flag. So if you can see, when it wants to buy, it should be in a form of the flag should be in a form of this angle like it's dropping. You see, when it wants to sell, it's usually in a upward move. Okay, so it doesn't really depend on um okay. You see, so when it's buying, it should be in this form. It should be kind of in. It should be in a dropping zone, in a dropping uh, pattern. But if I put bearish flag, you see bearish flag. Uh, you see what price is doing? Price is compressed at this point. You see, it's kind of compressed. And doesn't don't worry about the direction of this line before it gives you that compression. The fact that once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the only goal. You can see there's something I've seen. Something like this. You see this kind of compression, and regardless of how price has been dropping, just this kind of compression here should show you that price might easily not respect the level. And you can see this kind of compression that it just turns me off. I need something clear, and just like that, this prevents me from taking this buy. And even though it might sell, but just with this kind of let me just show you something. Have you seen how price has retested this level? Price has given you a nice break and a nice break and a nice retest. And all you need is a weekly confirmation for this week to then buy. You see this kind of retest? Now look at this kind of retest you're having here. Mm. Let's try to delete this. Mind you, the higher low is this level here, and the higher high is at this level here. Yeah, I think now you get what I mean. And this is the retest we had in USD, AUD USD, and this is the price action we're having in uh in uh in AUD NZD. We have something like this, closely packed, by the way, within just lines, in just a next candlestick. The next candlestick follows, and a nice retest there. But look at how compressed this is. It's somehow showing that price has done this. This is how it's looking. That price has done this, and anytime price can either respect the level or break the level anywhere at this level. And this is no, it's so close to each other like this. You see, this is how price is looking. So how can I buy in such a trade? Then we are just trying to participate in the trade. Remember, it's about picking the trade that makes the most sense because you like the setup and you like the entry. And you like how the player gives out profits, no. So unfortunately, from the pending pairs, we won't pick anything. And then until we get a clear retest, then that will be fine. But right now, unless if price, at least that's why if it was buying, I wanted price to buy from here because you can see we're having a clear bullish break and a clear. This was supposed to give me a clear retest here, then a buy. But you can see AUD US AUD and AUD NZD wants to buy and AUD USD wants to buy. So which one would you prefer? Just go with AUD USD since both are buying. Or AUD card also is buying. So they are all AUD pairs. We just pick the one that's clean and avoid also this extra noise. I see. So that's why we won't pick this. And the next time we meet, I'll go through these other pairs and see what we can do about it. But it's fine. It's fine that now we've concluded that we don't need anything from the pending pairs. We only need these. So this is 5 p.m. and I left you guys, huh? Uh, let's go through what the market did for us in next week pairs. Okay. Don't worry, we still have one more day. Still have one more day, which is Sunday, for us to pick the pairs we'll trade. So now that we are over with pending pairs, uh, let's try to see which ones will put. First, let's start with this USD CHF, right? So USD CHF. Let me do it this way. Okay. USD CHF. This is the weekly time frame, and the weekly time frame you can see what I was telling you guys yesterday, last week, that, and I think on Monday, I was telling you that the reason why price didn't sell from this level is because this was taken as a shift. Because if you put the line chart, you clearly see that we're having a shift right around this level here. Okay. So since we're having a shift right around this level here, even the line chart already has told you, has shown you what will happen next on the weekly time frame. We're having price shift going bearish, shift going bearish, price selling and price shifting going bullish right around this zone here. So we expect price to push from here. This is the line chart. And this is what we expect from the line chart. You see? So right now price is trying to push back at this level here. At this zone here, if you can see. Okay? Uh so now interestingly, this is what the line chart outcome should be if price wants to respect this trend, especially that this is the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame, when we have that shift, simply means that price is eager to make this as our next move right there. This is what's next. It can happen once price is at this zone, or once price retests this previous lower high. See? So this is what we expect from the line chart, meaning this price wants to buy this pair, sorry. And so if we now switch to the daily time frame, and now we go back out with the weekly time frame, and we go back to the we can go back to the candlesticks. So you can see that price was bearish. Um, what is this here? Let me just read this here. We can also you can also see that price was bearish by these higher lows, this higher lower high and this lower low, you see? But I don't know how this tended to form a lower low and a lower high and cause that break, because apparently that's how it's looking, as if this was a shift and we got that break, and price retested back to this level here. And you see why I was telling you that I don't like it when price is having these structure points and the candles are kind of tangled together. Is that's why I even skipped AUD NZD because of this kind of structure. Don't know when price really shifted and when price really bought, you see? So that's the same case that's happening here. You can see that in the weekly time frame, when you put in candlesticks, you don't really know if price shifted. You can think this is just the lower low, and then price is just reacting to this level. So that's why I said to myself that if this price really shifted, and this is a this is this is a what this is a bullish trend. And when we're trying to sell from here, remember that week we're trying to sell from here because of the way price broke. So we're trying to sell using the daily at this level. And this failed. So the goal was, let's wait for, and I remember thinking that, okay, since if price has failed to sell, we'll use two ways. We'll try to see if uh this week, which is this chill, I think. Where was I waiting for that? Yeah. hmm We were waiting for this break and retest on Monday, 11th of May. Yeah. The time we ended up taking that buy for USD card, and we didn't get the break on the daily time frame. So I remember telling you guys that, okay, since we didn't get the break, let's wait if price will come back at this level and sell. And price never ended up selling. So when price came back at this level here, and this was this candlestick, I was telling you guys that, okay, since we're back here, if really this buy was due to the fact that due to the fact that the the weekly has shifted around this level, it will break and give us an engulfing, and price broke. So it showed us that this price really got it. the shift, and you can see what price did. It broke and gave us this engulfing close. And so why I didn't take this next week, this week, is because I was already in USD card, that other trade. So we expected price to keep on buying, and we got the buy. And now the weekly has retested back to this level here. And so since price is at this level, if you can clearly see, the shift was around this zone here. Okay, this is where the shift was. But if you also try to, because this is also an OG level, by the way, you can see we have this. It's just that we only have one touch at this level here. But if you look at it, price, this was price structure before it made the new lower low. And this was price lower low before price made the new lower low. And uh, since we rejected, but the bad part is the daily is bullish, so we are looking for buys. And we expect price to buy more. Why? Because this was supposed to be used as a retest level, this one here, but price failed to hold. Price came back at this point, and then price reacted by coming back to my OG level, and price now is retesting the OG level. So we expect price to push further, and this price should buy all the way up to this level here, all the way up to this weekly high. Okay. And so now we have that in the weekly time frame. Let's try to do the daily time frame because we are just building. I'm looking at this trade with you right now, and we're building this trade together. I didn't even look at this since last night. So now this is what we have in the daily time frame. Okay. Cool. Cool. We have the daily. The daily was bullish. You can see if we start from here, price was making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, price higher low, higher high, price shifted. You see, price made the higher low. So if you can remember, the previous video I was telling you was about this kind of shift where price just makes this strong bearish drop and takes out major previous higher lows. And you see what happens next. Price has to retest this level here and come back, and it still pulls back to the OG level up. You see? So the same thing happened in this pair. So you can see price made the new lower low, and price came back, made the new higher high, made the new higher low, a new higher high, new lower low, new lower high, new lower low. And I thought I might sell here, and because of just waiting for that further confirmation, we survived the loss, and price made the new higher high, gave us that daily retest, but still pushed further, and price is coming back at this level. So since price is coming back at this level, what do we expect? We expect a daily confirmation candle to then buy. But this is not a lower, this is not a lower higher low, because we can clearly see nothing happened. It's just the higher high is this level. This was just a retest of this previous uh lower high. And you can see this can't be labeled as a higher low. Uh, so, this is a higher high now. And so we can just simply do this. But if just showing you what was going down, what I'm talking about, what I'm trying to say is, if you look at this trade here, if you look at this, let me just try to remove this. If you look at this push right here, this is a lower high, and this is a lower low, you see? But once price broke below this previous lower low, it had that retest on the daily time frame, then price made a new lower low, you see? But this didn't mean this was a lower low, because you can see how the retest was. This, in short, for you to label something as a lower low or a lower high, you need to see something like this, a check, something like a triangle or an angle forming, you see? This is what you should consider as a lower high or a lower low, and not something like this. So when you see pair candlesticks in this form, there is no high high and no high low. It's just a retest and a continuation. When you look at these two, you can see the difference, that there's a higher high and there's a retest, but it made this structure here before it pushed, making this a new higher low compared to this retest here and the push. You see the difference between these two. Try to see the difference. Let me try to erase this. If you can clearly see here, price broke above and retested, but you can see price formed this kind of angle. You see, we formed this in our retest. We formed something like this. And look at this difference here. Price broke below, but price retested. Once it made this lower low, price retested. But at this same point, it's like at the same point, price made the new lower low right there. You see, because of this candlestick. So this is what formed. You see, so this can't be considered as a higher low, but this can be considered as a higher low structure. You see, because there is this angle here. So the same thing even here. Price made the higher high. You see? But the retest we had was price just coming back at the same point, and it didn't give us anything like this angle here. You see? And then price just bought again. So this can really be considered as a higher high, higher low, higher high. You see? It's the higher low will still be this one here. You won't change it to this level because of the way this retest is happening. You see? So that's just what I wanted you guys to understand before we proceed. So if you look at this, this is a higher high, higher low, higher high, and a retest. But price reacts, then again gets the initial retest. So when price reacts at this level, then you see we will now have a new higher low once price breaks above, and this will now be clear. So this is what I want the daily to do for me. Since we're at this level, we are rejecting. I still expect the daily on Monday to give me another daily bearish push. And then we can wait for a daily confirmation candle to show us that we are holding these buys. So that when it shows us we are holding these buys, we'll then just wait for price to shift, because in the same case when price makes a new lower low here, makes this new lower low, let me make this more even clear. You can see the 4 hour higher low is this level here, and the 4 hour higher high was this one, and you can see the higher low was taken out, so this became a new lower high, and this became a new lower low. So now we are bearish, meaning if we're bearish, we can only buy once price is above our lower high, making the price going, turning into a bullish trend. So in this case, I'll be buying where price is not an OG level. So what's favorable for me is I want price to make a new lower low and a new lower high, so that once it pushes for another lower low and gives me that shift, I'll be buying at my what? I'll be buying at my OG level. You see, I'll be buying right around the zone that I uh predicted. So that's the whole secret. You see, we already know that the daily is bullish, and we already know that the 4 hour is bearish, and the weekly is bullish. So we just need the weekly to go bullish. So the 4 hour to go bullish. But for the 4 hour to go bullish, it has to take out this low. And for it to take out this lower high, I'll be buying where I didn't analyze, and this is almost at the point where I expect a rejection, you see. So in this case, I need price to push further below. That's why I'm now seeing me telling you on the daily time frame that I need a daily bearish close on Monday. Then if it wants another daily close on Tuesday, a bearish one, then on Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday or any other day, if we can get that bearish engulfing, showing us that price is holding. At the same time, we'll get the what? We'll get the shift in the 4 hour time frame. You see, that's the key idea there. So it's not that I'm trying to predict or telling the market what to do next. But if you think about it, that's what market should do if it wants to give us an entry. So it's a logical assumption, you see. So it's what we are waiting for, and that's why now you see me going on the daily time frame and telling you things like I expect this daily on a Monday to give me another bearish push, you see? Because I know once we get this bearish push in the daily time frame, my 4 hour will make a new lower low. That's cool. For Tuesday, we now just wait for price to give us a we just wait for price to give us a shift, which is a daily bullish closure, telling us that we are now holding. The same time, the 4 hour will do what? Will have it shift. And once it has that shift, price will be ready to buy. You see, so price is not only buying at the level where we should worry, but price is also buying where price has shown and told and proven to us that okay, now guys, we can take these buys. You see, so once we see something like this, what am I doing? Sorry. So you see, let's reduce this a bit. Okay, don't mind the color, but it's the same thing, you see. So now that's why you have me saying things like once price reduce this, if the daily can start with another bearish close, that's very fine. You see? That if the daily can start with another bearish close right around this level, or even not that drop, or maybe even just that long, then another daily close like that, then a 4 hour engulfing candle like that, you see. So this is now showing you that price is holding, right? And once we get that, we can now know that okay, price wants to buy. And this can be an engulfing, this can be something like this. Then we get a week, then we can get maybe uh, a week pullback somewhere like that. You see, don't mind the line, just know uh, is how can I draw this line? Okay, if price wants, we can get something like this. You see, can get something, can get something like this. So it's not really mandate that to be engulf what I'm just trying to tell you that this kind of candlestick can happen or any, but this is the core idea is I want price to make a new lower low. So that once price makes that lower low and gives us the shift, uh, then we'll be ready to buy. So this is a clean trade. This is a very clean trade. So it stays for next week for now. And then we have NZD card. If you can try to remember Eurocard for last week, you know that this is one and the same thing. And this might be the cleanest we'll have this week, next week. So if you look at the weekly time frame, huh? You remember, last week I was telling you, I think, yeah, was it last week? Yeah, last week Friday, I was telling you that because of this kind of push, we had a very nice weekly engulfing candle, a bullish candle, but we have this strong bearish candle. So I really want to see if price will be holding one more time. And you see what price did? Price rejected. So this rejection is a very clean indication that price wants to continue buying and even up to that level. You see? So this is a very clean indication that we can buy next week because not only do we have price being bullish in the weekly time frame, because it's been bullish. If you remember what I told you, this is our higher low and this is our higher low and this is our high high. So it's been bullish and this is a sign that price now just wants to continue buying. So since price wants to continue buying, what do we do? We go to the daily time frame. We already know that the weekly is holding. We go to the daily time frame. And interesting, what do we have in the daily time frame? The daily time frame also, this is our higher low and this is our uh higher high. You see? Same thing. And the reason why we didn't buy this last week was Friday because of the way price broke below this OG level. And it was very much closer to my daily high low. So I told you if the price is closer to the daily high low, there's a higher chance that price might react to the high low before it even does anything. And we got that reaction. So this saved us from early buying, of any sort. And price even showed us that, okay, um, it even gave me this rule I was showing you when price makes a high high and price retests where you expect price to buy, which is this level here, because I was expecting price to buy here, but price gives you a deeper pullback. Now what you're waiting for, and you know that that deeper pullback is closer to your daily higher low or your daily lower high. You just wait for price to push back up to your OG level where you wanted to buy. That's at least far away from your OG level, your your higher low, low high. And you now get that push. You see, price now rejects up. So this injection up is now a confirmation that, oh, we've already tested the daily higher low and this price still wants to buy. So we just wait for that retest. You see, and we got the retest on the daily time frame. So since we got the retest on the daily time frame, what's left is only price to give us that daily push. You see, that's the only thing that's left because if you remember, I was showing you that this kind of strategy is it's a situation where you have that push, then the retest is closer to your OG level. So now you want price to push back up and retest that zone. You see, and once it retests that zone, it gives you that entry signal. You see, so that's the same thing that we want. And if you can look at this scenario, yeah, it's the same thing. You see, because this is our higher low. In this case, you see, so now price is at this level. We are having this retest, and if you can clearly see this type of retest we have is it's not a clear retest once first of all, it's somehow a rejection. So when you see this type of rejection, there is a higher chance that Monday can give you a bearish close. There's a high chance we can get that bearish close. Okay. And then there's a high chance that the days that will follow after, we can get now that bullish engulfing or that bullish close. That's the first scenario. Okay. Uh, and again, in the same case, price can just simply buy from here. Monday, we just get this a strong buy and price continues pushing up. You see? So if we are in such a situation, where price has just broken above, and you don't know if the retest will be the one to give us the final push. Is here we can now switch to the daily time frame, because the 4 hour time frame, because the key thing is we know price has broken above our OG level. Okay. Yeah, and price is already having this retest, which we know here. So we just don't know if this is the only retest we'll get, or price will even drop more. What to tell us that is the 4 hour time frame. Okay. So since when we go to the 4 hour time frame, you can now see how the 4 hour time frame is clearly pictured. So we can see when we scale down to the 4 hour time frame, price gave us eh, since we already know this move, and we already know that the daily has to give us that daily push, which we already have, so we can buy. There's no need of me to still have this. Let me just delete it. Okay, bam. Now we have what we call the 4 hour time frame. So let's deal with the 4 hour time frame. Here, first perspective is we need the daily to either close with another bearish close, okay? And the daily again to give us another bullish close on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, anything. But if you look at this carefully, you can see that the 4 hour time frame just had this strong bullish shift. We were bearish, and now we have this very strong bullish shift around this level here. So since we had this bullish shift, you can see that we had some structure. You see, so this becomes a higher low, and this becomes a higher high. And if you clearly see this higher high and this higher low, the only thing we had was a rejection. We just got a rejection right there. Pam. We wanted a retest to touch this zone here. You see, this is where we wanted price to touch, but you can see price just rejected. And that rejection is just a turn off for us. You see, because we want price to touch this weekly, weekly, for retest zone. You see, so our goal is price, coming back to this zone here. But price doesn't want to do that. It's just playing around, you see. So since price chose to play around with us, we also now play back, right? So what we do is we shift to we just turn our interest to waiting for that initial retest. Okay. So in the case of us waiting for initial retest, we expect the Monday time frame, the Monday open to give us a deeper retest, right? So if we get the deeper retest, that means that I expect price on Monday to give me another 4 hour retest. You see? Then once we get that 4 hour retest, that's where now we'll either have and this that's where we'll have an indication if price will be willing to break above on Monday or Tuesday. Because if Monday right now is if price comes back at this level, uh what we want is an indication that price really wants to buy, right? Okay. So if price wants to buy at this level, three things might happen. Okay. So let me open your mind first. Let me first try to open your mind, and right now I'm in flow state. So please try to catch me. Try to catch me. So the first scenario. We have the first scenario whereby we need price to retest this level. Bam. That's the first thing. And once price is at this level, price can do three things. If you remember what I told you last week, price can do three things, right? So now here we're opening our outcomes. We already know the strategy. We already know where market will go, but we just want to be free with whatever the market gives us. So we don't feel trapped, or when we don't feel sad when it goes the other way around, right? Okay, so since we're at this level, three things might happen. We might get the bullish break, a bearish break. This is the one I'll show you, where price continues uh selling. You see, even risking breaking and shifting our 4 hour higher low, because this is our 4 hour higher low right now. Let me just try to remove this one so you're not disturbed. But this is our 4 hour higher low. And remember, in this case, we're only trying to buy in this box here. Okay, this is our only level where we want to buy. We want to catch a buy when price is within this box, because this is where we have a higher low and a higher high. Once price is outside, once price is below this level, the buy is gone. We have to wait for a retest. You see, and once price opens above this zone, closes above this zone, we're out of this buy. We need another retest back to this OG level. So, since now that you know that we are looking for a buy around this level, let's proceed, right? Okay. So, uh, try to pay, just stay in this box with me. Okay. Uh, First scenario is price ends up breaking this level with a close. This might be one candle close, or this might be a two candle close, or even three or four. Price comes back and breaks below. You see, this can happen. And once we get this is still fine, but the 4 hour will go, uh, scenario one, 4 hour goes bearish, right? So once the 4 hour goes bearish, this will mean that this will become a higher low, this level here, and this will become a higher, uh, lower low. You see? Oh, sorry, this will become a low high, and this will become a lower low. You see? So now, this has to mean that if the 4 hour goes bearish, uh, we wait for 4 hour to go back bullish. You see? Because daily and weekly is already bullish, ready for buys. You get the scenario? Yeah. So that's what happens when we get the first scenario. This is when price just decides to act stubborn and gives us this, decides to just gives us this, uh what's this? Let me just do this. Sorry, just a minute. This is when price just decides to give us straight red candles, you see? Straight red candles. But this first scenario is also an advantage because if you remember, as we were saying on the daily time frame, we want what? We want price to close, to have a what? To have a daily retest. You see? One price to have a daily retest, another daily bearish retest, whereby we get another extra red candle. So if we see scenario one, that's still fine with us. That's very fine. That's what we even want. So that once we get that scenario one, we will just have to wait for the daily to give us a bullish candle. Once the daily gives us a bullish candle, guaranteed we'll get the 4 hour shift. I'm telling you, we'll get that 4 hour shift. So every scenario here has an advantage. So the first advantage for scenario one is when we get price breaking below here, uh, advantage is we get the daily strong retest. You see? Meaning all we need is a daily strong holding signal. All we need is a daily strong holding signal candle close. You see? This is the advantage, you see. We now price gives fails to give us what we want, but that's cool because we are now at a safer space whereby we know that the daily hasn't just only broken above, you see, and it hasn't only shifted, it hasn't only retested and given us the break we need, but price has given us a deeper retest so that we can just wait for one daily bullish close. If we get that one daily bullish close, my friend, we are live. We are live. Just something like that. That's the only thing. That's the advantage of it. You see, So we are not taking any scenario as a bad side or anything as no, once this happens, we're out of the game. No, every side has a good part. You just have to focus on the good part, you know? So in every situation, either good, bad, try your best to focus on the good side. I'm telling you, there is always a good side in every bad situation. Every bad situation, there will be a good side. And you've seen the good side. We didn't get what we want, but we are at a safer place of taking the bad. So let's continue with another scenario. So this is the first scenario is when price gets this retest, okay? Then when price gets there, buy. Oh, sorry, when price gets to break. So that's the first scenario. So okay, let me just do this because this will be needed. The end. You need this. Okay, so that's the first scenario. So let's deal with the second scenario, right? Okay. So the second scenario is where price gives us a retest. Okay. Mhm. So the second scenario is price giving us a strong retest. And the retest will determine the type of retest will determine our entry. You know that for sure. So I'll just call it the first okay, let's just do three scenarios. Yeah. The second scenario, the last two scenarios are based on the retest. The first one is um the first one is when we get this nice retest. This can be one strong bullish candle, bearish candle like this, or this can be two or three candlestick patterns, candlestick closes like that, you see? Okay. But the only thing is when we get this retest here for the first scenario, once we get this retest, I need my bullish engulfing candle around this same level to engulf. You see? Let me do this. I need my bullish engulfing candle around this same level here to engulf this. Okay? That's what I'm looking for. Uh it will just be reasonable. We want even if we get some sort of maybe a deeper retest like that, that's fine. But when we get the engulfing breaking above this OG level, that's cool. This is the perfect entry we need. Okay? Let me even do this here, right there. This is the perfect entry we need. Where price retests. So scenario one is when price retests and engulfs this, or scenario two. So, so scenario two is 4 hour retests and gives entry signal. We buy. Okay, we buy. So the the disadvantage of this one is uh we don't. I forgot something. The advantage is we don't get to buy right there and there. Just yes. Okay. So we buy. That's the advantage of this one. We buy. Let me just do this. We buy. That's the advantage. Uh, and if we get this buy right now, and let's say I get this buy, my buy is around this level, and my stop is right maybe below this or right below these wicks. And my take profit is right around uh this high. Okay. My take profit is right around that high. So when I'm entering this buy, you can see that the daily time frame is this is a case where the daily time frame will give me only a weak rejection and the close and give me that bullish close, but with a weak rejection. You see, with what did I do? With that weak candlestick, then how can I just show you? It's a case where price gives me this kind of bullish close, you see? And the disadvantage is we don't get the immediate retest. That's the only disadvantage of this one. We don't get the immediate retest we want, but the entry is clean and the daily is bullish as well. But that means that if price the disadvantage is we don't get the daily retest fully, it will be a rejection. You see, that's the only disadvantage to be a rejection here. Meaning if we were to be stopped out, price was trying to make a daily price was just trying to make a daily full closure, then it buys, okay? So then when we enter the trade, that's the risk we accept. We know that, okay, if we get stopped out, then is price either trying to give us the full daily close or the uh or we were just wrong about the direction. That's why now you see me increasing my stop to these wicks here. You see? Because usually it should be just below this engulfing here. But I will increase it to these weeks because I've seen that price as a chance of before buying, giving me that daily initial retest, then giving me that daily close. So that's the second scenario, you see, which is also fine. We can still take a buy, can still take a buy once we get that. Then the other one is so the second one is when we just get this and we buy. That's what we all want, by the way. That's what we all want. That's what we all need. And the other one is this one here. Okay. So this is the second one, where we get this kind of retest and then we buy right around there, the same level. You see, it's at the same level, by the way. Yeah. So the last one is when we're looking for buys, but price ends up doing that usual strategy I told you where price breaks below the OG level here. Okay, so once price just gives us that strong bearish retest, but the price is below, our trade is still active. It's not okay. So once we get a bearish close below this retest, that's fine. But that just means that when we are below here with this kind of retest, I need price to break up and then retest and give me an engulfing. You see? That's the only jug. If we get this kind of retest, as long as we've not broken below the higher low, it can even reject at this zone here. That's fine. But then that means we'll be waiting for price to give us a push of the daily 4 hour candle and another push that brings me back and another push that retests and then the final push that gives me that entry. Okay, and if I can do this, yeah, I hope this now makes sense. So this is the second scenario where we get the price retesting, but price just having that deeper, just that deeper retest instead of reacting at our OG level. So we pull the second move where we just wait for price to break up and retest and give us the buy. So this is the third scenario. And all these have their disadvantage. So in this case, for this one, we know that once price breaks below here, uh, so for third scenario, uh, gives, let me do this. 4 gives, this is the third scenario here, gives a deeper retest. Uh, we wait for price to break. We wait for price to break above OG level, then retest, then entry signal. Advantage, we get to see the daily react at the OG level deeply. Yeah, fully. Yeah, fully. You see, that's the advantage. The disadvantage is we don't get to buy instant. That's the only disadvantage. We just don't get to buy after the the retest. That's the only disadvantage. So you see, everything is having a good side and a bad side. So just this right here opens up your mind. And the fourth scenario, that one I won't discuss. That's and the fourth scenario, that one I won't discuss is why did I just repeat though? But it's when the price just breaks above from here, because this is where we are, where price just decides to open with a strong bullish close. In this case, once we get that, that means and price breaks above this OG level. That means that this becomes our higher low and this becomes our higher high when we get that break, meaning we have to wait for price to retest back this level, then the forward to go bearish again, then we apply the same scenarios right again. Mm, so if you see such things, this will even open your mind because now you're not just thinking of one possibility where if price gives you this, then you buy. If you don't get all these, you are sad. No, you are just right there taking whatever the market gives you. So this is what we expect price to do. Uh, and it will give us anything, and our job is just to respect the levels. So I hope you guys took screenshots or whatever, because you might need this. You might need this. Uh, yeah. It took me years to realize these things, so that's why to take note of them because they'll happen. They'll happen that I can guarantee you price will either respect your level, will either react from your level, or will either respect your level, but you need to wait a bit, or it will never respect your level and just go straight somewhere else. So all those outcomes help you be flexible, you see? Uh, so in this case, that's what we have. We are still looking for buys, but we just need price to come back here. And then we can decide the steps we move. You see? Yeah, so mm, that's for AUD NZD card. But there's a very high chance we might get scenario two because this kind of retest it needs a deeper retest on the daily time frame. So we'll just watch out for that because uh cause cause that's what we have to do though. Yeah, that's the good part. Okay, so the second thing we have is AUD card. Uh, this is AUD card. Uh, with the look of things, this is our higher low, and this is our higher high. Okay, for this one, we will try to explain this in the next video. Yeah, I'll try to do this in the next video. But if you look at this is still the same thing. Like I'm just from explaining to you. We have the higher high, the higher low on the daily time frame, the higher high, and the higher low on the weekly time frame. So we are looking for buys within this box here. Just a quick preview. We are looking for buys within this box here, and since we have the buys in this within this box, price can do anything, and the good part is now price is at our OG level here, you see. So since we're at our OG level, we have the daily retesting, and the daily is not only retesting, or the weekly is not only retesting, but we can see this strong pin bar. And when you see a pin bar formation, this is a sign price will buy. If you want, you can try to look it up. Let's try to look it up. Just oh, I keep doing this. Uh, let's just do this. Mm, you can see once you get this pin bar, it means price will buy. There's that bullish. Right there. Thank you. Okay. You see, right after the pin bar, you get that push. So it's the same thing that's happening here. You get this pin bar after the retest. What do you expect? You expect the weekly time frame to give you a strong bullish candle. You see? And this will make sense to you. Just wait for me. Just wait for me, right? Just a bit. Wait for me. So you see, this is what I expect. And let me show you what we are seeing here. Look at this pin bar. After the red candle, what do we get? A bullish close. Look at this pin bar. After, sorry, I'm just too fast. Too fast. Look at this pin bar though. After this pin bar, what do we get? A retest, bearish retest, bullish pin bar, bullish candle. Bearish retest, bullish pin bar, bullish candle. That's the structure and that's the analysis. As simple and as quick as that. It can also be applied in the bearish momentum. You can see bullish retest, bearish engulfing, bearish pin bar. That's the buy. You see? So uh price reacts to these levels. You can see once you just see it, you can't unsee it. And for us to have it in a weekly time frame, this means that this weekly is going to buy even further. Okay, so if we now switch to the daily time frame, you can see price is also rejecting, kind of doing just the same analysis I was showing you. When we get the buy, then price fails to hold and breaks below. We wait for the break above. You can see that break and the retest to then buy, right? That's what we wait for. And if you can see, that's the break we had right there. Price at the break above the OG level. It can be that one or it can be right around here. But after we get that break, we then switch to the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour time frame, the only bad part is the 4-hour time frame is bearish. Okay, and since the 4-hour time frame is bearish, you can see this is our higher low, lower high, and this is our lower low right here. I just I hope you guys can. Why am I doing this? This keeps interrupting. I hope this is our higher low and this is our lower high. Oh, sorry, that's our lower high and this is our lower low. Let me try to remove this. So meaning price can do anything within this level, even though the daily and the weekly is bullish. So what do I need? This is where we have to be very smart, very, very smart. Because remember, we want to buy when price is at the daily level, the OG level, which is around this level. Okay. So, so what I need is, this would be nice, but let me just be quick. I need price to go bullish. You see, price to go bullish on the 4 hour time frame. So at once price goes bullish, it can fool early buyers, and when it does that, price should come and go bearish right again around this level here. You see? Cause if you look at the daily time frame, this will be very fun. If you look at the daily time frame, you can see that price has broken above this zone. And since price has broken above this level, after this deeper retest, we need a retest here and then a strong bullish confirmation. So for that to happen, I need price to go bullish on the daily time frame. You see, on the 4 hour time frame. So price will go bullish, and once price goes bullish, this is where we'll either get a chance of missing this buy or uh catching this buy. The first scenario is where price goes bullish and price retests this 4 hour level, even though it's not in our OG level, but price ends up buying. You see, once we get that break and retest and price ends up buying, that's also a trade, a very clean trade, but we're not buying at our OG level. You see, uh, first let me try to see how I drew the daily thing, because you can find didn't draw the daily. Yeah, I see. No, 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 no. It should be like this. Yeah, should be like that. Yeah. So you see, I would have made this easy mistake, because this is where we're getting the rejection, and this is where we're having the other rejection right there. You see? So this is my OG level. Even the weekly time frame, even the weekly time frame, mm, even the weekly time frame, you can see it starts right around this perfect level. Okay. So if we want on the weekly time frame, that's why we can do this. Yeah. But the daily time frame, it has to be this way. Because this is where we have price rejecting at least at two levels, 1, 2, 3. You see, so yeah. Yeah, so it's just the same thing. Yeah, so I think we can catch this, but yeah, we can catch this, but I just didn't draw this nicely. So I was thinking, why should price go bearish on the 4 hour time frame when NZD, NZD card, AUD card, Euro card, they're all ready to buy. So the only thing that's left here is just simply waiting for price to break above, making a new higher high on the 4 hour time frame and a retest. Uh, and uh and that's simple engulfing. Yeah, that's the only thing we need is when price breaks above this level here. Once it breaks above this zone, we'll now wait for a retest here. And even if price fails to retest and ends up shifting here, it's still the same. It will still be the same thing. If price tries to break, ends up buying, breaking, but ends up shifting, we'll still wait for maybe a new lower low and a new shift and a retest and then buy. That's another scenario. Right there, you can see that's if price retests, you see, and then price fails to respect this OG level. You see, when price breaks above but fails to hold here, where our first scenario is the break and then buying. But in this, let me just change the color. Yeah. You see, so this is, no, not this. So this is the second scenario when price fails to hold and breaks below. So since it breaks and makes this a lower, breaks below the higher low, we will wait for price to give us a new lower high and a new lower low and a shift, then a retest, and then an entry signal. Then the other scenario is where price just from here, price just buys and fails to retest back to our OG level. That's also something we should uh consider happening. And if it happens, we'll still be okay. Okay. Then the other last one is if price fails to retest, you see, price just ends up going down. That's also another scenario we should be ready for. So all these four can happen. Price can either not give us our entry, one. You see that? And price can also not give us our entry by just selling off or just buying off. Or price can give us our entry by breaking and retesting our OG level, which is this one. And once it breaks, retest gives us the buy. That's a nice scenario. Or price breaks but ends up going bearish. We still just wait for price to go bullish. That's also a nice one. Or price even price breaks, but when retesting gives us a deeper retest, we simply just wait for a break above and a retest, then buy. All these are scenarios, but this is a very nice trade that for now, we want to buy around this level here. So for now, the first best case scenario is price giving us that, then we will react from it. Okay. So so that's it. We will then when we meet next time we'll do I think we've done USD CHF. We'll do NZD USD AUD USD, and then maybe even one of these, then call it a day. So thank you guys. Um, Welcome back, guys. So before we call it the night, let's just go through one pair, which is AUD USD. Then we can continue tomorrow. Okay, so if you can see AUD USD, you can clearly tell that price. Okay, let's start with the weekly time frame first. You can tell that the weekly that it's retest. Okay, and since price at its retest, you can see that price. Let me try to remove this. Uh, since the weekly at its retest, you can see that price should be ready to go up like this. You can see we have a retest, so we should be ready for buys. And for us to have those buys, meaning we have to know uh, if the weekly is the weekly is holding, and you can see that the weekly. First, let's just go through all these here. You can see USD CHF, we just had the retest. AUD card, you can see the weekly is holding. NZD card, you can see the weekly is holding. AUD USD, you can see that price is at the OG level, right? But we need price to show us that the weekly is holding. Okay, so just that same thing makes us push it below these two pairs. Because even USD CHF, it's the same thing. You can see that price quite alright is retesting this level, but the weekly, okay, here the good part is the weekly already rejected this level with this engulfing, so we're just continuing the buy. But if you look at this Australian US dollar, you can see that price uh has broken above this zone here. Let me do this. Let me then do that, and then let me do this. Okay. So we can clearly see that price has broken above this level, which is this one. Okay. And this is our high high, and this is our high low. Okay. So if this was the 4 hour time frame, when we get this kind of break and retest, remember, when we get the first break on the 4 hour time on the weekly time frame, you just want a pullback to then buy, right? And in the same case, when we get a retest in the weekly time frame, we just want we now want a initial buy, meaning we need now the weekly time frame to give us a bullish closure like this. Okay. Mm, and so just that right there makes us now start second guessing the trade, but it's fine, it's ready to buy. And since you can see the weekly is not ready, meaning that the daily will have to take some structure to show us that it wants to buy. So let's say we can catch a buy in this state, but we have to make sure we are catching a buy when we know that price is about to give us something like this that will show us that, okay, this week we are in, price will engulf, or price has shown us that the weekly level is holding. So let's scale down to the daily time frame so you can see why I'm saying that we need to wait for the daily to show us that price is holding. So look at look at look at this pair now, so you guys can really see why I'm saying we won't be trading this next week. This is Australian US dollar, right? And if we look at this structure, we can see that price was bullish around this level here. Higher high, retest there. Then we have this higher high. Then we can see price goes bearish by breaking this level. You see, price once breaks the level, retests this daily level, and price then sells, but still we are bearish. Okay, so since we are bearish at this point, we want to buy, right? That's the main goal, is we want to buy. And we can only buy once price breaks above this level, because this is the higher low and this is the lower low. So if you clearly look at these two levels, you can see that the only way for me to buy in the daily structure point is when we get the break above there. Meaning whatever is going on within this zone, it has of no use to me, right? So when I find myself in that situation, in that type of trade, what does this tell me? This tells me that I need to, if I want to buy this now, this pair right now, there is no difference with Euro USD, where I'm saying if I want to buy, I have to wait for price to break below this level. Oh yeah, no, this one is selling which pair? Oh, USAR USD, yeah. Meaning these pairs of no difference with Euro AUD USD. Because if I want to buy gold, I need it to break below here so that it can go bearish on the daily time frame. Then it will show me that shift, you see? And you see, and you can look at the weekly time frame, the same thing, and that's in the That's in AUDP. You can see price has retested this weekly level, but price has closed with a bearish candle, meaning when price will give me this push here, this break I'm looking for in the daily time frame right there, where price makes a new lower low and shifts. By the time we're having that week closure, we will find ourselves that the weekly candle has now engulfed this daily level, this weekly previous candle close. That's why, and the same thing will now happen here. You see? So, mm, now if we go back to the daily time frames, since you know why I'm saying that, you will see that for me to buy, I have to wait for this to happen. And my OG level where I have to buy at is this one here. Okay? Uh, Meaning I have to now uh expect price to give me a break below this lower low so that we can have a new lower low. Let me just try to draw this so you guys can kind of see, can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so you see that once I get this, you see that once I get this red candle here, what does price done? You see, this is my lower low. But when we get this break, we will have this lower high, and this will be our new lower low. You see? So once we get that break, now we have a new lower low and a new lower high, but we want to buy. Okay? So since we want to buy, we now reduce this lower high from this level to that point there. Meaning now our buying point has reduced from waiting until price breaks above this level to waiting until price breaks above this zone. Okay? So once price breaks above this zone, so now since we're at this state and price has closed below this zone, this is if we get that Monday daily close, you see? So now that we've made this lower low here, we are now expecting price to give us a break, so that the day this pair can go bullish. So when we get that break, and this break can be with maybe four candles or candlesticks, or can be with three, can be with five, anything. You know, it can be with two. Let me just try to put two. Okay, so once we get that break, once price breaks above that level, then now we can focus on the um we can focus on the 4 hour time frame, because the daily will now be bullish. And the same time, the weekly will be bullish. And when we get this push, what does this tell us? That once we get this push, we'll be waiting for price to then retest. You see, meaning that retest can also be another uh uh 2 days candle. And we can find that this can be Monday, this can be Tuesday, Wednesday, and we can find that Thursday we get that maybe bearish close, and Friday, that's when we now get a bullish close like that. You see, so doesn't mean that once we get that break, price has already left us. We just have to be a bit patient, because it can simply do this the whole week, and we get the buy maybe on a Friday. You see? So uh don't worry about this trade, we'll catch it. And if it wants price if it wants it can even make a new, it can simply make something like this where we get two red candles. This is Monday, Tuesday, and then we start getting a push like this, where maybe this is Wednesday and this maybe is Thursday, and maybe even Friday around this level here with this bearish close. You see, so that once at least price closes with this zone, we'll know that price has closed with a weekly bullish close. Then we'll simply just wait for a break above. So the most important thing that I'm trying to tell you here is we need price to break below and make a new lower low. Okay? And if we get the daily bearish close, there is a high chance that the next daily candle will be bearish. You see? So if we get the Monday bearish close, we can get even a Tuesday bearish close, meaning Monday, Tuesday has already been wasted, and that close can be around this level. You see? So that's now telling you that this trade will be ready next week. You see? So this is the analysis. This is the lower low. And this is the point where I can expect price to give me a new lower high. This point here. Uh, uh, yeah, so the whole case for us in this scenario is, and this analysis is waiting for price to break below. Then we get that break above. Then we can look for an entry right around there. You can catch or buy, you see? So it's a very nice entry. And this whole thing can even take up to a week. Because again, mind you, once we break at this level here, we are now respecting this head and shoulder. If you can see, we have the left, we have the head, and we have this potential right. So once this breaks, uh, it can even sell maybe even up to this level, then start buying. So we have to give it one more week. Don't worry. Uh, we have to give it one more week. So with this we've analyzed today, I think weekly time frame. This is very nice. So for now we can push this to next week. For this week, next week, yeah, next week. But these will be for the other week because tomorrow will be Sunday to be a new week. So that's when we'll be saying, okay, this week we're looking at this, then these are still on hold for next week. Uh, yeah, even USDCHF, even USDCHF will still be on hold. I like how. Wait a minute. 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 Oh no, 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 no. USDCHF. We USDCHF. We got the weekly engulfing already here. So this is just a retest. Then continue buying. So but anyway, the next week and other week thing we'll sort that tomorrow. Yeah, because this might even come there or this might go here. You never know. So just know that today we've covered, let me do this to make things easier. We've covered this and tomorrow morning we might cover the first two. The other session we might cover the other two. Then the other session we might cover one and pick. And the last session we might now just pick the ones we will be dealing with. But that's it for today, and thank you guys for your time. Have a good night.